You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, I have got your 2-week spoilers for July 28th through August 8th. We're going to see Nina having a total meltdown and Kristina making a confession. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down. Click that subscribe button. Let's get into it. On Monday, July 28th, we've got Kristina confiding in Michael. So looks like Kristina is going to confess that she nearly killed Rick and Liz while trying to really kill Ava. And Michael then asks Kristina what could possibly be worse than the people she tried to kill. And I'm guessing she reveals her Cody and Ava plot when Michael, wants to know what she's up to. And what's extra dodgy about this Cody and Ava plot now is that Kristina knows that Molly actually likes Cody and it looks kind of mutual, but Kristina is so caught up in her own revenge that she can't let her sister be happy. Molly is lashing out at Cody on Monday because Kristina got in her head, messy stuff, says he just wants her hands on him, which may be true, but still, Cody's not getting a fair shake with that. At Willow and Drew's wedding, she comes down the aisle. They're doing vows. Lucy asks if anybody objects. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Willow may object to her own wedding. I don't think she's going to end this day as Mrs. Drew Cain Quartermaine Cutthroat. We'll see. Jocelyn gets orders from Brennan, and she's wondering if there's a problem, and Jack says that depends on Joss. So they're talking at the WSB office, and obviously this is about the Dalton case. Carly asks Jason if he's thinking about digging someone up, that someone being Brett Westbourne. And then Jason goes looking for Obrecht. Looks like she should be free because that wedding doesn't look like it's going to last that long. And he really wants to talk to her about what he saw. On Tuesday, July 29th, Martin gets some interesting info. This may be back to that letter that he found at Drew's place that is written to Monica. Now, we have heard that Erica Slezak is going to be playing Monica's sister, and this is part of Monica Quartermaine's official character exit for the death of the beloved Quartermaine matriarch, because Leslie Charleston, of course, passed away, and it looks like they're finally getting into this plot. Something makes Tracy and Cody very happy, and I believe it's the destruction of Drew's wedding to Willow and the truth about Drew sleeping with Nina finally coming out in wide release. Jason talks to Liesl about Britt, about, Jason seeing this lookalike, getting on a plane to Croatia. I cannot wait to clock Liesl's reaction because I feel like she has a hand in this. We'll see. At the pool, Nina sits down with Curtis and Portia in the aftermath of, that messy wedding scene. Curtis does apologize to Nina for spilling her dirty secret, but he feels like he had to do it. I wonder if Nina is going to tell Curtis the absolutely awful things that Willow said to her about she was jealous that Nell died before finding out Nina was her mom. I mean, I almost can't think of a worse thing she could have said. So kudos to the GH writers for that dialogue, because she just ripped her mom a new one. And Nina does let Portia comfort her. She's absolutely distraught that Willow wants nothing to do with her. And I do think that she's probably going to forgive Curtis. On Wednesday, July 30th, we've got Curtis filling in Trina on what went down. He may be telling her about the wedding disaster, and, Curtis may think for a minute that what he did solved his Drew problem. I just think he's created a whole bunch of new Drew problems. That's me. Rick gets a new client on Wednesday, and it may be Portia, because she realizes she has to just get this over with so that she cannot be blackmailed anymore. And Michael has to make a big choice, and I wonder if it is about letting Willow see Wiley and Amelia because Shirley, walking away from that wedding to Drew, the first place she's going to want to go is to see her kids. And Nina has some sort of play to make, some move, some scheme. And I wonder if it's about getting Willow's forgiveness. And Liz takes in a house guest, and it may be Willow. You know, she can't go back to Drew. She doesn't want to go back to Nina's, and she needs to be somewhere that's on neutral ground where Michael would let her see the kids, and Elizabeth's place would work just fine. Thursday, July 31st, Willow is determined, and I think it's to get her kids back, to start rebuilding her life, to maybe never talk to Nina and Drew again. And Jason needs a favor from Elizabeth. He drops by her place, and maybe he has questions about the night that Britt died. Carly tells Joss her concerns might be about her dating Vaughn now that Anna brought all that up. We'll see. Emma opens up to Gio, and I think it's going to be about her plan to expose Dalton. And Dante is venting to Anna, and I'm guessing that's about the Rocco and Liesl Obrecht situation. On Friday, August 1st, we've got Emma and Gio working on a plan. And again, I think it's to break into Dalton's lab, because remember, Emma lifted Vaughn's keys from him at the bar that night, so she's been hanging on to those. I think she was probably hanging out with Vaughn to irritate Joss, but I think it was more about the keys. And Dante interrogates Danny, so Dante might want to find out more about Rocco and Liesl, and he may think Danny's a good person to get that from. Felicia has some advice for Lucas, and Alexis wants answers, and it may be from Drew, or it may be about that business conversation Ava wants to have. I wonder if she's going to try and cut Rick out of the blackmail money because she's so mad at him. Jason loops Anna in on his suspicions that Britt didn't die, and maybe that Obrecht is being sketchy. The week of August 4th through the 8th, Jason is pondering a big move. After talking to Obrecht, he might hop a flight to Croatia to track down this Brit woman, or maybe Anna can do some checking around. I wonder if she knows that Dalton has ties to Croatia. Rocco is probably going to be pushing back on Dante and Lulu if they tell him he can't talk to Obrecht. Now, she was very nice. She walked away from that situation the other day, even though she didn't instigate it. Rocco did. But, you know, you don't mess with an angsty teen like that, because they just double down on what they want to do. Gio and Emma might find themselves in a risky situation soon because of this Dalton fixation that Emma has. And wait to see if Willow gets a sweet reunion with her kids. I'm sure Michael's going to have very strict conditions for visitation, but his primary thing was that if she dumped Drew, she could see the kids. So I think he will stick to his word. Watch for Drew to be plotting revenge on Curtis and others, and I don't think he's going to give up on Willow. Carly is frustrated by that fight with Lucas and him basically walking out of her life. And, you know, Joss is still annoyed with Sunny, so she may have some things to say about this whole situation, and Lisa will be there to comfort Nina.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.